Hey yo, what's going on everybody? It's Tylarious, aka Ty Killington. Yeah, man. Alright, so yesterday I made a video talking about some tips and tricks on how to pass all of the waves for your survival mission, right? Right now it's triple money. Until May 8th, they're paying out triple cash money up to 90,000 per survival mission. And some of the survival missions are actually really easy to pass if you know a few tips and tricks. And from some of the commentary and some of the responses on yesterday's video, I wanted to bring this to you guys and show you another map besides Process that is really fun to play, easy to play, and there's a couple of tips and tricks to help out with, all right? So first and foremost, of course, stock up on snacks and armor. Make sure you have plenty of those. And don't forget to purchase some tear gas. Make sure you adjust your weapon wheel loadout in addition so you can access everything. Go into your missions, launch survivals, and the survival map we'll be using today is Sandy Survival. This is a fan favorite. It's one of my favorites as well. I've played this one and processed a lot, and I want to show you guys a few tips and tricks on how to complete all 10 waves and make some quick cash. Actually, not too bad, all right? So, first things first, when you spawn in, the best hiding spot for this particular map is going to be basically right behind this fence that says Chinese restaurant. There's a little dumpster right here. You just go and stand up on this. I was playing this the other night with a random that I met, and we were using this method right here. You could fit two people on this. This particular position, for some reason, the fence kind of glitches you out. As you stand up, for whatever reason it may be, your head is below the fence, and it kind of is a head glitch where it does not show anything. You can kind of shoot through the fence as well. As you see, my character falls down a little bit, right? His head is below the fence. The gun is below the fence. Yeah, I'm able to shoot through it and score all of my hits. Of course, killing the enemies, and they are unable to shoot at me or hit me. Every now and again, of course, your head will pop up or you'll be in a position to where it doesn't do this every single time. That is rare, and you still benefit from having this no-show glitch where you're able to basically, score up a bunch of kills and not have to worry about it. Now, again, just like I talked about in Processed, I recommend the same old weapons. A heavy revolver, Mark II variant if possible, minigun, Hellbringer. I'm a big fan of the special carbine for these, just simply because it's a good all-around weapon. But any one of those will work just fine for you, especially in the beginning stages. A lot of people were commenting about the assault shotgun as well. The assault shotgun works great. I just find, for me personally, it's just not the best overall, but it's still a great weapon to use for this. Because of the pellets it just throws out there. You have a wide range where it's hard to miss. But in this position right here, you're unable to free fire. You actually have to lock on. So that may be an issue. You can't just free fire around the actual wall itself to score some easy hits. But for the first, I'd say up to 3, even the 4th wave, the NPCs are very easy. It's practically just a one-shot. Right, so you can hold back on using a lot of your heavy weapons or your throwables, which we'll be talking about here in a minute, for later on. Now, the one thing that you do have to worry about with this particular position on the map, and we'll discuss this in a moment, is the NPCs can flank you, and the choppers do have an aerial shot at you, so you have to watch out for those. A couple of times I came pretty close to dying because the aerial choppers were shooting at me, and I was unable to lock or position myself to use my minigun. But you can, as long as you stay focused and pay attention to your health and armor, you'll be fine. Now, as the waves, if you look in the bottom right corner, you have your wave meter, and the meter tells you how many bad guys are left. The more that the closer it gets to being filled up, the less bad guy NPCs there are. And when you have just a sliver of grayed out meter left, you can go rush that character, that NPC, so you're not eating up time, and pick up some money, some ammo, some health, snacks, whatever that's laying out there. So you don't have to wait for them necessarily unless you are just low on ammo and you want to wait for them. But again, this spot right here, I mean, I think I went through 5 rounds before I even got shot. Even one of the rounds with the one chopper, I was able to avoid being hit. So that really definitely helped out. With the chopper, remember, you don't have to destroy it totally. You can just take out the 2 gunners on either side and then let the chopper fly around while you take care of the rest of the NPCs. And then you can take your time to destroy the chopper with your minigun. Definitely, as the waves start getting a little bit more difficult, toss out some sticky bombs or some proximity mines, and I'll have a couple of tips and hints for you in just a moment. Here's me using the assault shotgun. Again, it is a great weapon. It just on range targets and a little bit further away, it's just not as effective, especially when you're trying to get those shots on their hands or on just like a small portion of the NPC body is sticking out from behind cover. The assault shotgun will work, but it just takes a few extra shots. Whereas you could just zoom in with a scope, or not a scope, but it's aim down sight with your carbine or your combat MG and take care of the NPC. As you see right here, it's just much more precise, in my opinion. But as the waves start dwindling down, I wouldn't start using throwables until I'd say about wave 5. Stickies, proximities, or tear gas. So we'll talk about tear gas here in a minute because they are quite effective. They kind of help weed out a bunch of the guys and kind of give you some breathing room. All right, as you see, you have up to 20 NPCs on the screen at once that you'll have to combat with. But even at wave 5, there's still just a couple of shots and you'll be able to take care of them. So you can even hold off on your throwables until later on. And I've done plenty of survivals without using one throwable, tear gas, C4, proxy at all, only using the actual weapons. So don't think that you have to. You can challenge yourself, but it does make it easier and speeds it up a little bit. So as you progress on, again, keep an eye on your health and armor. Watch out for the vehicles because they can flank you. As you see right here, you can't use the minigun while on top of that the dumpster right there. I mean, you might be able to. You have to kind of position yourself correctly. It's just easier to get down and just shoot the chopper with the minigun as it rolls up on you. And there you go. On this one, I only used a few explosives just to kind of show what they would do. But another tip or trick, which I think is a very, very useful trick, is the tear gas. Tear gas definitely helps out. And this is preventive. Before the actual wave begins, you have 20 seconds. And as the countdown timer hits about 7 or 5 seconds, you can start throwing the tear gas in the areas where the NPCs spawn from. And as you can see, immediately they start affecting the NPCs. And you put them in the actual spawn point locations, and as the NPCs walk up and approach that area, they get hit by the tear gas and they start dropping like flies. And you combine this with your barrage from your carbines, you can have a serious effect. And I was able to wipe out almost a whole entire wave with tear gas alone. But you do have a limited supply. You can only have up to 30 tear gas throwables. If you've gotten the bunker practice range challenges done, you can have some extra ones in your inventory. So I would hold off on using those until at the very minimum the 5th round, but probably try to hold it off until around the 7th round. That way you have a little bit extra. And as you see right here, I mean, I'm throwing the tear gas canisters where they spawn, where their spawn points are, where they'll run and funnel towards, and they just drop like flies. It's very, very easy, very, very simple. And again, when you combine it with your weapons, you know what I mean, as you're shooting and they're getting hit by the tear gas, they fall very, very quickly, and this speeds up the whole process for you. And we'll talk about the time here in just a minute. But you see right here, we're on multiple waves. I was just showing for test examples on wave 3, but I used the last 4 of these on I believe wave 10 to help out with mine. As you see here, they're before they spawn in. I throw my last 4 in a particular area, the areas where they'll spawn at and they'll run through, and it definitely helps out. I mean, you can decimate these guys even with their beefed up and juiced up health. It doesn't take long. You see right there, 1 gets dropped, 2 right there, 3, 4 right there, 5 again, 6 in the background. And then it's just much easier to drop the rest of these guys, and it's no problem at all. And then your next wave will come up, and you don't have to worry about, if you have a few more canisters, you can toss those. You know where they're going to be spawning at, and you can take care of it. And any kind of residual gas in the air can wound them if it's not fully going to kill them. And it's very easy to pass, and right there. Now, I was testing this and getting it done, and I finished this in roughly 20 minutes. So if you're actually focusing on this, you can knock this out 15 minutes at the max. So you could do 4 of these in an hour, and you're talking about with survival missions, 360,000 in an hour easy. Now, some people are out there claiming they can get it done in just 10 minutes. Doing that solo is going to be difficult. I'm not ever one to say that it can't be done, but I'm not gonna tote that here on the video saying in 10 minutes. That's pretty good right there. But of course, it's a possibility that could happen. I would be safe in saying that between 15 and 20 minutes you could actually knock that out solo, mind you, and make some good money. All right, so if you guys got any questions at all, make sure you let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for the illest and realest content in the game. Make sure you smash that like button. You guys stay dangerous. Peace.